Welcome back YouTube to another video. Today we are benching, heavy benching. 150 kilograms is loaded up on the barbell. I have already done it for a set of 3 repetitions. I have 2 more sets left. I'm not too sure why I put up 3 fingers and not 2 fingers, but whatever. No need for the headaches and migraines straight away. Like I was saying, I'm doing this for a further 2 sets. Before we continue, I'm going to switch out of my Crocs into my Avancus powerlifting shoes. Now these are super grippy, they have a wide toe box, and they're rather comfortable. I've used them for low bar back squatting, I've used them for deadlifting, and now I'm going to use them for bench pressing. Anyway, let us crack on. A change to my bench press setup I'm quickly going to discuss is I'm going to be using flat feet, not tip-toed feet. Is that even a word? Tip-toed feet? Ballerina feet? Pointing feet? Extended? They're not flexed. That's extension. That is flexion. Oh, almost ended up with a toe cramp there. Why am I doing that? Because if I want to compete, I have to have my feet flat according to the BP, British Powerlifting, and IPF, International Powerlifting Federation, rules. Having such a long period between each set, rest period that is, I have 8 minutes between each set, does freshen me up enough to where I can hit the same weight for 3 sets. My emphasis is on the technique right now, my setup, my positioning, where my hands are placed and how my hands are placed. I'm using a bulldog grip. My pinky is next to the first ring, although first ring. All power bars tend to have just 1 ring, but if yours has 2, in accordance to that, my pinky is next to the first ring. Feet flat, I personally find that better than tippy toe, ballerina, extension feet. Toes, I find that keeping my feet flat keeps me more stable. As for the wider grip, that is still something I can't get used to. I am weaker with a wider grip because I have been benching with a narrower, oh my goodness, with a narrower grip for so long. I mean years at this point. I haven't wide gripped bench pressed since I was a prepubescent teenager. So hopefully in the next few weeks or so I can match my normal grip and progress past my normal grip. Sometimes I forget, oh my goodness. Sometimes I forget I'm using chalk, not soap, and I get quite carried away with it. Instead of rubbing it on my hand and just slightly between my fingers and thumb, I end up doing the backs of my hands as well. And then I realise after, what the hell am I doing? Old age, or my attention deficit disorder is to blame for my inability to focus on what I am doing. Because when I'm doing it, I'm focusing on something else as I'm doing that. So I'm focusing on 2 things at once. In fact, I would argue that I'm not just focusing on 2 things at once, I'm focusing on a million. I tend to think like a tree. What I mean by that is a tree trunk tends to go straight up, and then you have branches. Instead of thinking straight up the tree trunk, I start to think up the tree trunk, and then I start to think in every single branch that comes off the trunk. It's quite annoying, it's quite frustrating, and I get quite irritable at myself. But it is something that I have lived with. So I guess, you know, extra grip for the back of my hand today. Rightio, what are we doing next? What is next on the menu? Our main course was barbell bench press. Our second course meal, I think that's the same thing, isn't it? A second course meal is a meal with a side. And then a full course meal is a main meal a side and a dessert. The main was the barbell bench press. The side is the slight incline bar dump. I know we're doing this backwards, but the main was the barbell bench press, and we are eating our side after our main, which is the slight incline dumbbell bench press. And by slight, I mean I've got it on the first incline, which says on this bench 12 degrees, which isn't 15 degrees, but it's 12 degrees. Stating the obvious as usual. Here comes the headache, here comes the migraine. Get off the damn equipment. There's a bloated fly, a bloated black fly trying to pick up and hoist the 40 kilogram dumbbells, which is what we are about to hoist, heave and haul. I'm doing this for 3 sets of 8 repetitions. I'm not too sure if I'm going to stay at 40 kilo. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be staying with your mum. Fuck. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be staying at 40 kilograms. I'll probably up the weight to 45 kilograms because I believe I did 46 kilograms last time. I just want to get a feel for how I feel today. Groovy, baby. That's how I feel. Randy. I farted. Okay. I don't think I've ever used this camera angle, but I like the way it looks. It's rather close, it's rather personal, but you're not bursting my bubble, so I don't feel too uncomfortable or awkward. However, that doesn't take the The 45 kilogram dumbbells are going up. That was a strange noise. Okay, so I did say that I was going to change the exercise to barbell rows from dumbbell rows, but because the Australian strength coach prescribed me dumbbell rows, I'm going to do dumbbell rows. I feel like if I was a coach and my client decided to change an exercise, it would feel like a slap in the face. Whilst there is nothing wrong with a client just changing the exercise because they feel like one exercise doesn't feel great, I think the best thing to do before that client changes exercise is consult their coach. That is the respectful thing to do. Mannerism, etiquette, all that sort of jibber jabber, mumbo jumbo. And it's not jibber jabber, mumbo jumbo. I'm just yapping. It's solid. Yeah, it's not a gas, it's not a liquid, it's solid. You're probably thinking, what the hell am I on about? Honestly, I don't know. All I know is that I'm going to do some dumbbell rows. I have the 45 kilogram dumbbells. If this is easy, I'm going to move up to the 50 kilogram dumbbells. Again, like I said last week, I'm new to this exercise, or should I say, I've only just reintroduced this exercise. I haven't done this exercise in a very, very long time because I've never really liked it, but like I've said before, I'm just trusting the process. that was all right. I mean, it feels easy, but there is a slight adjustment that I want to make, or can make, or should make. And that is my outer leg, not the leg on the bench, is too far outwards. I need to bring it closer. I feel like when I'm bringing the dumbbell up, I'm having to reach outward way too much. I'm almost exaggerating it. Do another set with the 45s, see how that adjustment works out for me, and if it works out well, up the weight. If it doesn't, stick to that weight and just focus purely on technique. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. In fact, having my leg further out actually helps, because when I'm rowing, having my leg further out creates more room for me to row the dumbbell gently towards the ceiling with my elbow. All right, my knee, or should I say my foot, the tip of my foot, my toes, are in line with the tip of my knee. I feel like if your leg is too far forward out, I feel like if my leg is too far forward or too far back, I will create a level of instability that will jeopardize the effectiveness and efficiency of this exercise from optimal to suboptimal. And I don't use straps with exercises like this because I want to build grip strength as well as strengthening the stabilizers I am trying to strengthen. In this case, it's the lat and all of the upper back muscles. All right, that's actually better. I take back everything I just said. Having that back foot back, putting it behind you a bit more is more beneficial because now my leg is completely out of the way of the dumbbell. You live, you learn. Yeah, that feels better. I know, contradicting everything I just said, but again, you live, you learn. Okay, so I've got to speed this up. I didn't realise what the time was. The gym shuts in 10 minutes. Yeah, so what I was saying is that the gym shuts in 10 minutes. I'm doing chest flies and rear delt flies. It is a superset, and the chest press and row was supposed to be a superset as well, but I didn't do it. So next week will be a superset of the chest press and the row. This week, it is what it is. This week has been a mess because I've had a stomach bug, but I promise you, next week, you'll see the entirety of the week and the week after that. I've had all the illnesses that you usually get before the summer. So they're out of the way, I'm ready. Last week we did the 20 kilogram dumbbells for 12, and then we did the 16 kilogram dumbbells for 12. Fly this week, 22.5s, 17.5s, slowly but surely, progressively overloading. Because I supersetted it this week, it's harder. Who'd have thought? Stating the obvious. It's a boxing bag. I want to hit it. Yeah, I'll do. Very small bag, but that's a job.